Couple of minutes late. What a day. What a day. Spilled coffee all over the Weather Center. Broke the thing. I didn't really break it, but just made a mess. Anyway, it's Coffee Talk, so let's make sure that it's a great start to the day. I am first morning meteorologist Eric Burris. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. We're going to have Jacqueline D'Agostino coming up here in just a couple of minutes' time. But first, let's take you outside and see what's doing on our Tower Cam network. That's a shot from our WESH 2 studios. It is not a bad start to the day at all. Temperatures definitely running into a cooler register, we'll just say that. Look at this, 55 degrees in Orlando right now. It is 53 in DeLand, 50 degrees in the Villages. It is 50 in Ocala. I'm happy to say that the weather's looking better and better as the day progresses. If you've got plans to be out and about, yes, we're going to have some cool temperatures, but it's not going to be the kind of mess that you're going to be, struggling to make plans with. And I think that's the best part of the day. So temperatures warming into the 50s and the 60s pushing through the day today. We'll just do that. It doesn't really matter. 67 degrees our high temperature today. There are a few showers, but it's not the kind of shower activity that will be lingering all day long. I'm happy to say this is the shower activity that we just kind of have to deal with a little bit at a time. And one person that complains all the time when the weather gets like this, all the time, is our Jacqueline D'Agostino. Jacqueline, good morning.
Hey, good morning, everyone. What's going on?
You like how I set you up for that?
Yeah. I was like reading a script for the cut-in, and I just heard like the tone in your voice just shift, and I was like,
it's
here we go.
The evil direction of it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So what did you think of the weather this morning?
If you look in that chair behind you, Eric, you can
Yeah.
show everyone the Sherpa jacket that I wore.
Yeah.
I have a wimp anyways because I'm from here. I'm not used to it. And when I moved up north, I felt like I got a little bit more acclimated, but I've been back for like almost 3 years. So any type of progress that was made, I feel like is out the door. And it's nicer when it's high 50s, high 60s during the day, or like when it's windy or cloudy, like
Sure.
Not the best.
Yeah. That works for me.
Yeah.
I can accept that. Now the forecast for today is, it's still looking into a chilly setup. Look at those temperatures today. High temperature is 67. Now, we've talked a lot about this with you doing Coffee Talk. You might as well be a meteorologist. You're like halfway there in terms of schooling. Let's call a spade. So temperatures running well below average, and then you factor in the winds. Today is not going to be like the most beautiful of days.
Yeah, I'm going to be outdoors a little bit, so I was hoping that it would be a little bit more sunny today, but anything is better than Friday. Friday, it was literally like sideways raining outside.
Yeah.
At night, it was, all day, it was horrible.
Oh, it was terrible. Friday was a terrible day. I had an electrician at my house.
Yesterday. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, the poor guy's work truck was outside, and so he kept having to, run between my garage and his truck. And it's like you could see this man trying to make the best of it.
Right.
But it's storming like crazy outside,
I did a candle making class because it was an indoor activity to do, and it was fun, but we still had to park and walk a little bit from the car to said candle class, and I was using my umbrella as almost like a shield from the sideways rain that was coming up underneath the umbrella. It was a hot mess. But to be fair, I feel like we really haven't had horrible rain like that all day in a while. Usually it's just the afternoon storms that we see over the summer, and then it passes pretty quickly. It's been a while versus, if any of you have lived up north, that if it's going to rain, it's going to rain. It's going to be dreary and misty all day for months at a time.
Yeah, no, I agree completely. And at least, in terms of the forecast today, that's not a bad look for us, right? Temperatures today are going to be making it into the upper 60s. So it looks great. And frankly, it's going to feel great. But it is going to be a little cool, right? The average high is 80 degrees. So a person like you, who you've lived in a cold climate, but you complain anytime we mimic that, I say that. It's because I'm a pain in the neck when my love language is to be a pain in the neck. But like the reality is we are not used to this sort of thing, right?
Right.
Somebody's asking, where did you do the candle making class at?
Oh, so it's in Thornton Park. It's called Artifact Candle, I want to say. And it was really fun. We did went through and like smelled all the different candles that they already had.
Yeah.
You write down your favorites, and then they sit you down and they have you mix some of your favorites. So I did one that was like a Christmas tree sort of smell with like a little bit of like an olive blossom.
Right. Oh,
so you can like mix your own things.
That's fancy.
Yeah, and then they had it was like a BOGO deal because it was their anniversary.
Right.
So it was like, I think like $30 for 2 candles. Yeah. But I mean, like if you go buy a candle at like TJ Maxx,
same kind of thing.
It's like $15 for one anyway, so you might as well like have an experience out of it.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah, it was fun.
All right, I know you're a person who loves to share their opinion. So what? Oh, I hit the wrong. See, this is what happens when I'm trying to get all fancy. There. What are your opinions on the whole daylight saving time thing coming to an end, by the way, at 2 a.m. this morning?
So like the thing as a whole, I'm kind of like whatever about.
I'm whatever about.
I only say that because I love getting an extra hour of sleep and then I hate losing it.
Yeah.
So like the feeling of gaining like last night, I got more sleep on a work night than I've gotten in a long time. Not that I usually get like around 7, but I got like 7.5 a little bit.
Yeah.
The extra 30 minutes was just so nice.
Right.
And in that moment when I feel so rested, I'm like, God, this is awesome. But then there's also, it's a give and take. Then you lose it later on. So it's kind of like, ugh.
I always try to take that Sunday morning off.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Just because it's already bad, and I don't know, that's one of those things that that's one of those things that I feel like I've been in the business for 20 years. I've kind of figured out, like, that's a little tip to a morning. But again, like, eventually you've got to pay the piper and do a morning shift in that newer time frame. But it's that transition is the one that gets you.
Right. And even just an hour difference makes a huge difference in like how you're feeling.
Oh, yeah.
Like if I get 6 hours of sleep versus 7, I'm like a totally different person.
Are you?
Yeah.
I mean, the parenting world has just destroyed my sleep. But like this morning, it's 4:58. Now Alexander, my youngest son, wakes up at like 5 a.m., 4:30, 5 a.m. constantly. So the fact that he slept until today at 4:58, which would have been the equivalent of 5:58 in the old world, right? Like that was actually a good sleep for him. But like my wife's texting me before we even went on the air this morning, Jacqueline. It's because she woke up and Alexander was waking up, and it's like, we'll have to get used to this whole time change thing,
It's funny you say that because I was on Instagram during one of our commercial breaks, and Meredith McDonough was posting about how her youngest, who's not even a year yet, right? Like little, she was like, we're up early today because of the time change.
See, you could have given her grief and said, like, are you watching sunrise, Meredith?
I know, I should have. Yeah, her baby was like bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Right, yeah.
I was like,
because they have no clue. They have no clue, Yeah. I don't know. Michael says, I feel you guys in Florida don't feel the time change like we do up north. It'll be dark by 5 p.m. today. It's still light in Florida, but like not by much. Like look at the numbers. I mean, sunset tonight is 5:36, and it starts getting dark before that, of course. So but yes, like, I used to travel to New York City quite often to visit, and I feel like it was like 4 p.m. and it was already getting dark, and that is miserable.
Yeah, and it's also weird. I was in Pittsburgh over the summer, and I felt like at 8:45 or 9, it wasn't even completely dark yet. Like it was still looked like and granted, I was a little bit farther north, almost near like the Youngstown line.
Right.
But it was so light at approaching 9 p.m.
Right.
I was like, this is nuts.
Yeah, that's a whole other world there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chris says, in the best dad joke possible, Eric, why is coffee talk at 9 today? Yuck, 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 yuck. I like that. All right, Becca says, my kids woke up at 6:40. All right, so do want to talk a little bit about what's going on, and Jacqueline, we're going to keep you and bother you just because why not? Somebody had asked, are we out of the rain? The answer is no. The answer is no, although of course this computer doesn't seem to have decided to pick up on our radar, so we'll use the Weather Service radar instead. Seriously, why aren't you getting our radar? Okay, well, there's another thing I get to fix today. The other computers are getting the radar, just this one that I do Coffee Talk off of. So you can see there are some showers that are kind of marching over into our northern areas, Palm Coast, Shell Bluff, Astor, you're going to be getting the rainfall. This is something that we talked about on WESH 2 News this morning. It's a part of that same storm system that has been in our area. So just take a look. You can see the storm system pulling away. I'll widen the perspective. I'll widen the perspective out and you can see the storm system into the deep south, but it's pulling just a little bit of that moisture in place. So for today, yes, we do have a couple of those showers in the overall forecast picture, but it's not going to be a bad day. I would say that our rain coverage for today is going to run less than 10%. Okay, so good times. Yeah. Yukon says Iceland and Alaska in summer are awesome with all the daylight. Interesting. Maureen says some of us like daylight saving time. That's an interesting. I mean, that's sure. There's going to be people, Jacqueline, that like it. You know what? So my thing is not that you care about my opinion, but I'm going to share it because why not? It's what the cool kids are doing. It feels so winter to me, right? Like it's more of a mental game. To me, when it gets darker earlier, I think of winter, even though we are bringing it upon ourselves. And frankly, I understand why it was started, but like, do we really still need to be doing it? But it feels winter. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like,
that makes sense.
In the weather world, my computer system, and Jacqueline, I know you know this, but like you can only have so many graphics loaded in the weather computer. And it feels like winter when I take the million graphics that are hurricane season related and I delete them. It's like that it's like decorating your house for the holidays. It's that mental thing, right? Whereas the spring forward, it just feels like summer. It feels like you're getting into that. But again, do we need it? I mean, this, it's 2021, almost 2022, for goodness sake. So I don't know. The one thing that I was worried about is for a while it was like maybe Florida's going to do its own thing. And I'm like, I'm going around like I was trying to be a lobbyist in the newsroom. Not that it matters. But I'm like, guys, if we don't follow the East Coast, our morning newscast will start, instead of at 4:30, it would start at 3:30, and we'd add an extra hour on the backside. I'm like, guys, we have to stay in sync with the network. And like, I felt like everybody was looking at me like, oh, I guess I didn't really think about that, right? Because like, could you imagine if we are an hour off of the network?
No.
Our morning show would go from 3:30, I mean, because they, their coverage would be, it's like, oh, we can't do this.
And if it starts at 3:30, that means we have to get here to 2:30.
I would be getting here at 2:30, which let me tell you something. Ask my wife if I'm a pain in the neck to begin with. Add an extra hour of morning show to an already behemoth morning show. Oh, no. Oh, no. No. And it was like, imagine WESH 2 News at noon being shifted. Imagine, NBC Nightly News being shit. Like, imagine all of these things. Imagine your 11 o'clock newscast being shifted. I mean, all of these things, they all are impacted.
We have like 6.5 till the cut-in.
Okay. Kenneth says, both microphones pick up my loud noise. Thanks, buddy. Michael says, I think it would be fascinating to have some states not in a time change. I mean, you would have to use already recorded stuff. They would never do it. They would never use that. Yeah. You don't have to sync with the network. There's plenty of stations that just show whatever, whenever. West Coast channels don't follow network. Let me tell you something. I feel like our managers at this station would not do that. I mean, I don't know. That's the way I look at it. The Today Show is currently doing a piece of the history. Oh yeah, the unlikely history of daylight saving. It's really an interesting story, and it goes back to farming and all that. But like somebody, you know what it was? It was John Morgan. Attorney John Morgan of Morgan and Morgan and Morgan and Morgan.
Yeah. How could I not know?
Right. He posted something. To his Facebook page, and I'm just going to paraphrase. It was like, hold on a second. I have to find. I'm not going. Let me see if I can find this because it was funny. All right. I don't know if it was his professional page. I think it was it must have been his professional page. Hold on. John Moore. I've got to go to his professional page, his work page. It was a meme. Oh my gosh, of course I'm not going to find it this second. It said, of course I'm not going to, of course, oh, here it is. What is Sunday? Daylight saving time. Who wants to do it? Nobody. Why are we doing it? We don't know. I thought that was funny.
That was funny.
I don't know. Whatever. What are you going to do? Hey, all right, last thing. Today is the Wine and Dine half. Jason Guy's running it. There are many of our friends that are running it. Maybe some of your friends are running it. I think we have made a pact this morning, Jacqueline.
We have. We're going to do at least the 5K.
So
not January 2022, but January of 2023.
Yes. So January of 2023 on the Walt Disney World Marathon weekend, Jacqueline is good to do a 5K. I'm going to do another half marathon. And I said I'll do the 5K as well because why not?
Oh, you meant doing the 5K in the same weekend?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Because I was like, why not do the 10K? And you were like, because why would I do that? And I was like, I thought you were. I was thinking like at separate times to build up to the half.
No.
You mean the same weekend?
Or we could do another weekend. Why don't we? Maybe we do the 5K on another weekend then.
Yeah, I was thinking of it like. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. I've ran a 5K like once or twice in college.
Yeah.
So I'm down to do it again. I think running is super mental.
It is. But like for me, yes, it's super mental because I was able to run 2 halves at almost 300 pounds. So now I'm so excited to try this again at not almost 300 pounds. See how it goes. I don't know. So at the very least, I'm running the half marathon for the Walt Disney World Marathon Weekend half marathon. So that's in 2023. So if you want to join me, I don't even think the tickets on that are on sale yet. How much time do we have? 2.5
minutes.
So, but we'll have to find a 5K, a Walt Disney 5K, and we're paying for this. It's not like we're saying this because it's free. Trust me. But
I just need to make a note to go on and do it very early because I feel like that stuff sells out.
It does.
So fast.
It does. Yeah. So we have to do that. So I'm super pumped because I loved, and what'll be cool is I ran my first half marathon in 2013. So that'll be a 10-year anniversary of my first half, and hopefully it'll be a much, much, much better run. I don't remember my time, but it was a disaster. And then I ran it again. I ran the dark side in 2017, and that was more of a disaster. So, yeah. So anybody that wants to join us, we're going to run a random 5K, a random Disney 5K. Jacqueline will be out there. And then I'm going to do the half, all right? Anybody else that wants to join us, it'll be a lot of fun. All right, any parting words?
No. Oh, someone said we didn't cover Jack Snacks. Recently I had a hard-boiled egg, and I sprinkled some crushed pepper on it.
Oh, God.
Just to, like, spice it up, literally and figuratively, I guess.
Yeah. We have to also talk at some point, we'll have to talk about the other thing.
Yes, that will be for next week.
We need to find an opportunity because there's a hilarious thing we have to talk about. Do not let us forget that. All right, Jacqueline, thanks for joining.
Bye, y'all.
Have a great day. All right, everybody, that's it. That's it for Coffee Talk today. It's going to be a nice and cool one. It's 55 in Orlando. You can see those showers kind of coming into North Florida. We'll be tracking it, all right? All right, be the sunshine in someone else's day. See you guys.